already know your boy DJ Skinny, Mr. Philgun. Welcome to another episode of Kickin with Skinny. I appreciate all the love that everybody been giving for the past couple weeks with the videos, YouTube, Instagram, and all that. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got a special guest in the building, my boy. I want to do a proper introduction. You know what I'm saying? Certified life coach, relationship coach, mentor, father, husband, a brother, part of the AU crew, entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. How you doing, my brother?
How you doing, brother? Nice to see you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you having me, man.
You looking like a young Harlem pimp over here.
Listen, man, I was just telling these guys, man, I had to switch my wave and dive on a whole new wave, man. People will be copying my style from time to time, man. I got to hit another wave on people.
I remember the last time it was actually 2 years ago. And we was doing trauma radio for Talk About It On. I have so many shows.
Feel Good Tuesdays.
Feel Good Tuesdays.
I got you, bro. That's what I'm here for.
You was here and we were chopping it up and you talking about arose through concrete and all that, right?
Absolutely.
And it was a dope interview, bro.
I appreciate that, bro. Like you guys make it easy. To be honest with you, I've done a few interviews like this, but you guys definitely make it easy, man. So I appreciate that.
But how you feeling though? Because like genuinely, like how you feeling?
Right now, I'm feeling great. Like before, to be perfectly honest with you, I was just saying off camera, but that Feel Good Tuesday interview was my first real kind of exposure to interviewing, to the podcasting process, and to all of that. So that was a good experience. Now that I'm coming in here 2 years later, like I feel like a vet, man. I'm ready to go. Fire away.
I appreciate that. I was a part of that process. That first one to be, interview you through that process and all that.
Absolutely, bro. Like I told you earlier, you get the green light, man. Some other people that need me, y'all gonna have to pay, but
right.
You get the green light.
I appreciate you drove all the way from Syracuse.
Syracuse, bro.
Yeah.
3.5 hours, man.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be longer than that. When I checked it on Google Maps, I thought it was gonna be like 5 type shit. But
I thought it was gonna be 4, bro. But a couple of times I hit about 90. I ain't gonna lie, so that was good for me.
Oh, really? Yeah. Because Alfred, we went to Alfred. We graduated from Alfred University, so. I mean, Alfred was like, a couple, not that far from the city people, it was like almost 6 hours.
For me, it's 2 hours, like, which isn't bad. Like, it's only an hour. Once you get to Rochester, it's only an hour away. So I'm like, I'll take it, man. Especially now, like, I'll be driving 6-7 hours, and I'm like, oh, I used to complain about that Alfred drive. Like, what is wrong with me? 2 hours is light now.
But I want to get into some shit, bro. I want to talk about a lot. I want to dive. I want to get to the meat and potatoes of shit.
Listen, bro.
Like stuff.
I'm here, bro. I drove 3.5 hours. I ain't drive for no reason. I'm expecting this to be a hot one, man.
But
lit.
I know you for like almost, I don't know, probably 8-10 years, probably.
Yeah, it's up there, bro.
Part of the AU crew. I know you, right? I didn't know you back then in Alfred and whatnot, but I know you as Tyrone, right?
Absolutely.
But people may not know you as an individual, but I want you to explain to people like who are you, like your upbringing and like how you grew up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me, I was born majority on the south side of Syracuse. I don't know if people are aware of Syracuse, New York, but it's consistently ranked as one of the poorest cities in the entire country. Like we're always top 10. So the time in which I grew up, it was 1 out of every 2 kids, so 50% grew up in poverty. So I had to grow up in poverty. But the crazy thing about it is now that I do a lot of self-reflection now, just to make sure I'm on top of the stuff that I'm on top of, and mentally I'm together myself. And we was poor, bro, but like we never knew that. Like we had so much love in my family. Like we looked out for each other. Even to this day, like we was poor, but we had hustlers, man. Like my family was full of hustlers. So Christmas time, we never didn't get toys that we didn't want it, or holiday seasons, like we all had that love piece, and that was important. Now I realize now growing up, because a lot of my friends, they didn't have that love piece, but they had the financials, they had the security of finances, and now some of them are doing drugs, some of them are womanizing, whatever the case may be. So for me, I really appreciate my upbringing. Now having known kind of the stuff that was going on, and more importantly, I think for me, I was exposed to trauma at an early age, and that was something that was difficult for me to process. Like, for example, my mom and dad literally would go blow for blow. Like right in front of us, they would bang out like fight. I remember one time, and this is no exaggeration and not to freak people out, but this is just being genuine. like my parents started fighting over something, right? And then they, like, the way our apartment complex was, it was like you ran downstairs and there was the downstairs. So my mom like hit my dad, and then she ran downstairs and he ran after her. And like you heard all of the tussling and everything that went on downstairs. And then as like my mom was the first person to come back up, and as she coming up, I kid you not, bro, like her lip was busted, like wide open, like to the point where she was leaking, bleeding, and crying. And like stuff like that would happen periodically in my childhood. And I think what it did in a negative way is it taught me to compartmentalize a lot of my trauma. And that was unfortunate. But the love piece was there, so it was always like, all right.
The balance?
Yeah,
okay.
that balance. Like, and I thought that was normal. And that happened, like stuff like that carried on all the way probably up until I was in high school, where so going back actually a little bit, going to middle school, I got kicked out of middle school. So like I was bad. Like I was a very bad kid.
Yeah.
And the reason I was bad, I know now, and I can talk about it now, is that like I didn't know how to process my emotions, bro.
Okay.
Like no one ever told me like, why are you so angry? Like, why are you mad? Like, let's talk about it. That just wasn't something that happened in my community. And so I grew up fighting and angry and a lot of resentment, man. And I remember in high school, or middle school, excuse me, I'll never forget it. Like I was acting up in class, and my teacher had called my dad. And she was like, because of course I would lie to my dad. The teachers would call home, and they'd be like, oh, your son is doing this, that, and the third. And I would lie to my dad, like, oh, no, dad, they lying. Like, you know, the teacher's just talking that junk. I'm a young black person. Like, they just blah, blah, blah. And one day the teacher literally called my pops and had him stand outside of the classroom while I was acting up one day. And he stood there, and I'm acting up. I'm like being a class clown or whatever the case may be. And I turn around, and he's standing at the door, literally like looking at me. And I'm like, oh, no hiding or no fronting on that one no more, right? And that day, he was like, yo, this is the last time you'll be in public school. Like, you will not be in public school again. And he sent me to Our Lady of Lourdes Middle School, which was a Catholic middle school. And once I got there, I started to see like parents and other kids in my class relationships was like tight, like they was deep. They didn't argue, they didn't fight, and that carried on throughout high school. So that was my real first kind of introduction to healthy relationships. Like I didn't see it up until that point in time. So that certainly caused me a lot of trauma and a lot of resentment, to be honest with you, man. I lived a very angry life for a while.
Yeah. So just growing up, like, as just young, right, as any individual, like, you know, male, female, boy, girl, like, your environment, like, impacts you a lot.
Oh my gosh, bro! Like I don't think people realize that. And
your parents, your mom, your dad, that, what man, they say,
like, all of that.
Even
bro.
if you're like I feel like even your daughter right now, she's like by like one about to be 2.
She's gonna be 2 in April.
Yeah, like certain things like you probably even say around her. I know she's picking up, she's processing. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
Literally, like it's incredible, man. Because like until I became a parent, I didn't even know that. But like even just as recent as the other day, bro, like I'm sweeping, right? And I'm like not thinking of it. She running around, nothing of it. She running around, and I'm sweeping, bro. Literally, I put the broom down. I look over, she's sweeping. Like, and she never literally watched me sweep before, excuse me. So when I seen that, I'm like, oh shoot, like.
She's mimicking what you're
everything,
doing.
bro.
Yeah.
Like literally every single thing.
Be careful what you say,
bro,
what you do.
Bro.
Even say to your wife, people around you,
all of
the
that,
house.
Bro. Like it's all like around her. I want nothing but love because I don't want her thinking that she'd ever have to want for love or affection or attention, which was something that I struggled with for a long period of time.
Right. So how did that impact you? Like trauma, like growing up, like seeing your pops like busting open your mom's lip and the drugs and all, like right in front of you.
Yeah,
like, no hiding. You know,
like, hiding, man. Like literally, like this is how, and this is something I'm appreciative of my parents for too. Like it was no hiding, it was no faking, no fabricating. Like they would literally do crack or do drugs and be like, don't do this. Like, don't be like us. Like this is a mistake that we're making. We can't control this habit. Like this is something that we can't control.
Right.
And like that would be a topic of our conversation. So like that was always something in my mind. Like, okay, my parents struggling with crack or substance abuse, but like it was like, no, don't do it. Like this isn't something that we want you to do. This isn't the life that we want for y'all. So I respect them for that, man. And I love my parents like to death. I wouldn't trade them, man, for the world, man, because they've, along with that kind of exposure to negativity, man, they showed me an ultimate love, bro. Like the ultimate love. I was a straight knucklehead, bro. Like when I say knucklehead, people like I'm polished and clean and everything now, but I was like a bad kid, bro.
Damn. It's crazy because you had the trauma and then you had the love.
Yeah.
So was it like, I guess, confusing to you? Like,
absolutely, bro. Like I lived a very twisted existence, I would say, up until, so probably up until high school, man, because like I was a decent high school football player.
Okay.
Like, I was all right in high school football. So like, you know, when you're a decent high school football player, you usually exposed to more. So like a lot of my friends would be like, oh, like that I met in high school, be like, oh, come over to my house and come chill with us and whatever the case may be. And when I would go over there, like their parents wasn't fighting, bro. Like their parents wasn't punching each other. Like they wasn't calling each other out of each other's name.
Yeah.
None of that. Like, and that junk was so
That was
weird
weird
for
to
me.
you.
It was, bro.
Yeah.
Like I would literally like, and I remember asking one of my friends, like, yo, your parents don't fight? Like they don't argue or nothing? And he looked at me like, and I'll never forget it, bro. Like right now I remember his face. He was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, I didn't want my parents to.
That's the normal for you, though.
Yes, that was
you.
my normal environment, and that's what I did, bro. Like I normalized it for a long time, and I would say it really had me jaded, probably into my late 20s, bro. Like talking about 26, 27 years old before I started to shift in my thought process, man.
Yeah.
And it was pretty messed up, bro. Like it was fun, and it was also kind of walking on eggshells kind of thing a lot.
Yeah. So I remember years ago you was telling me about this snowstorm in Buffalo. So I want you to go in detail and talk to people.
Sorry, bro, that was good. I wasn't ready for that one.
Talk to people about this Buffalo snowstorm,
bro. I need to.
And what you went through in your mindset, your
Bro.
mental health, and like mentally what you went through, and how did you overcome that whole Buffalo snowstorm?
I'm just gonna tell my Buffalo experience, period. Like, cause I think I spent 7 years in Buffalo. So I went to Buff State after I started off in Alfred, went there my freshman year, and then I transferred out to Buff State my sophomore year. So my sophomore through my senior year or whatever the case may be, I spent at Buff State. And like, I don't know if you guys know, but Buff State is known to be like one of the top party schools consistently in the country. So it's like we party, bro. Like, and I had not had that exposure to partying. I hadn't had that exposure to like, I know this sounds bad, but women that were like not submissive. You know what I mean? Like, like literally, like going to Buff State was the first time that I seen women cheat on their boyfriends and stuff like that. Like that was like that was a culture shock for me. Like, what? Like, you don't fall in line and like you don't hit her for that? Like, you know what I mean? Like that was like, and it happened like way more than I care to share for sure. But literally, like you would have females sneaking out and messing around with another dude and then going back to their boyfriend and like. That junk was crazy
That's
to me.
college.
Yeah, it is. It is.
College
And
shit.
thank goodness, like I left Alfred because, like, I feel indifferent about the whole Alfred experience because I know, like, I left Alfred. It was such
You spent 1 year? Was it
1 year? My freshman
okay.
year. Yep. So Alfred was such a close knit community, bro. That like. I love the people there, man. Like, and you know, you've been there, so it was just love, all love. Like, you know, Nadine and Michelle, they was going to the bat for you. Like, it was like you were their baby. Like, you know what I mean? And that was very different at Buff State. It was just like you was a number kind of thing. Like either you gonna figure it out on your own or you not. Pretty much. Like it wasn't a ton of guidance or a ton of counseling. Like I remember always, you know how Nadine them was, man. They was honest. Like you had to be as study hour, whatever the case may be. And I remember like constantly trying to get in contact with my counselor and they never being available.
Right.
Like, so I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to be successful in college if I can't get access to this person?
Yeah.
Which, like, you know what I mean? Again, coming from Mama's tree, it was like, all right, well, I'll figure it out on my own. Because that's very much how Nadine was. She was like, listen, you're going to figure it out or I'm going to beat your butt until you do figure it out. So that was huge for me. But not only the partying and the females or whatever the case may be, but like when I got into Buff State, I was a football player, and the privileges that were afforded to football players was crazy.
Was that a D1? D1?
D3. No,
D3.
It was D3, bro.
Shit.
Like, and it was like
just imagine a D1 school.
For real. Like that's what I'm like. Whoo, boy! Thank God I didn't get involved in that loop or getting caught in that loop. Honestly, bro, because like just the things that were available and like the opportunities that presented themselves just from being a football player. You know what I mean? I thought like, and that made me into a very self-centered, I'd even say borderline narcissist, bro. Like I was self-absorbed, only thought about myself, only thought about what I could get out of a relationship, what I could get out of people, not just women, but people in general.
Right.
And that carried on definitely beyond my, experience at Buff State. So once I graduated Buff State, I stayed out in Buffalo for 7 years total. But those first couple of years, bro, was like eye-opening. When I say eye-opening, I mean like the real, because once I graduated college, I'm like, oh yeah, like I got a 4-year degree. I'm about to have all of these jobs and all these opportunities available to me, bro. I had nothing.
Yeah.
Literally, when I got out of college, I had nothing. No job, no offer for a job, none of that. And for me, that was like, that rocked my world. Because I had always thought, like, oh, once I graduate college, I'm going to have all these opportunities and this exposure to opportunities. So for me, that really rocked my world, and it made me worse, bro. Like, it turned me into an even more jaded person. Like, why did I waste my time in school? Like, what did I go to school for? I could have been working. I could have been doing this, that, and the third. And it really did. It made me a jaded person, man. It really did. Bad.
So do you think, you know, like Nadine and Michelle, like how they help us in HOP, do you think staying in Alfred and graduating from Alfred and being around HOP family and the close-knit family and the support group would have made you a different person?
I think
staying in Alfred?
So. I think just being completely real with you, I think it would have made me a more sheltered person. Okay. So like I firmly believe everything happens for a reason. So I went to Buff State to get that exposure to that world of like, for lack of better words, griminess. Like, it's a bunch of people that in this world that's gonna take advantage of you if you allow them to. So that's what I seen overall at Buff State, and that's what I got from it. So it's like, okay, like everybody isn't the same. Everybody does not have your best interests at heart. So you better sharpen up and make sure you on top of the stuff that you on top of.
Yeah. So other than like, I guess like friends and family, like what pushed you and like motivate you to kind of like get out of like that dark place?
Yeah. So going back to like the time in Buffalo, I was living. So fast forward, of course, I was putting negative energy out into the world, so I was getting negative energy back, man. So I was living paycheck to paycheck for a long time, man. And I remember one of the things that I really want to share going forward in my testimony is the fact that for probably like 2 months straight, bro, I ate cheese bread sandwiches and water for dinner, like literally, bro. Like for like probably a month and a half, 2 months most. Because once, like, I got a job after 2 months, so I know for sure once I got the job, I was kind of in line. But like for that period of time, I literally was eating cheese bread sandwiches, bro. Not grilled cheese, like bread that you put cheese on,
not toasted.
Nah, bro, not in the microwave though. Like, and that's how real life was for me. And and what it was, bro, is it was a lot of it was pride. Like I was so stuck in the idea or thought process that I was gonna be independent. I was gonna do everything on my own. I didn't need help from anybody, so on or so forth. Like, I literally, like, that was the point that I was at. I'm like, I'm willing to do anything, whatever the case may be, not to move back home to Syracuse, because I thought moving back home would equal failure, essentially. Yeah. And then that's where the storm comes into play. So living paycheck to paycheck, fast forward. And then 2014, the winter of 2014, bro, I will never forget this for multiple reasons. Number one, it was a storm that had goddamn 9 feet of snow at my crib. Like, I'd never seen 9 feet of snow a day in my life. So that was crazy. I was not, like, we weren't allowed to go back home for like 2 weeks. So literally for 2 weeks straight, I was sleeping on my boy's couch, like washing the same drawers, not to get too graphic, washing the same clothes and going to work, coming back home, washing clothes, and doing this, like, and that was my routine for 2 weeks straight. And then there were times where I tried it, because we didn't stay in the city of Buffalo. The city of Buffalo was pretty cool. It was clear. We stayed in Lackawanna at the time, which is out near the Buffalo Bills Stadium. Okay. And that's like the outskirts, and they didn't have those roads cleared, and it was still dangerous for that time. So I would try to sneak home after work and all type of stuff, and they would literally have roadblocks everywhere to get out of the city. So it was pretty real. Excuse me, but after that, man, I was done. Like, I was tapped. I was tapped, bro. I was like, nah. Number one, I've never seen that much snow in Syracuse. I haven't been home. I'm here living paycheck to paycheck. So I called my brother. Actually, was the first person that I talked to. And he was like, yo, what you doing, man? Like, why you even out there? Like, come stay with me, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, like, I'm like, all right, what's the word? It can't be worse than not going home for 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. But to be perfectly honest with you, as I was driving home, bro, like, I felt like a failure, bro. Like I literally was in a very, very dark place. At the time, I called it the abyss because it was just a dark place because I'm like, damn, like I worked my butt off to get up out of Syracuse, and now look at me driving back home to do all of this stuff. And all the way up until I actually got there and I started staying with my brother and literally being around family and my support system, I didn't see that other side. But the biggest thing that I would say, honestly, that shifted my thought process was working in residential, man. Like, I started working in residential in January 2015. I started working with residential kids, excuse me, and, like, my idea going into this residential place was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm going to be helping kids out, saving kids, whatever the case may be, bro. And, like, kids would come in and they'd be like, oh, my God, like, we're about to get this kid. He's the worst kid ever in the history of life, like, blah, blah, blah. We'd get the kid in, like, this kid is dope, bro. Like, this kid is, like, if you put structure in his life, like, I swear to goodness, bro, I always say this, people don't believe me, but I met a kid in there that was the illest drawer I ever seen in my life. Like, I've got tattoos from people in Syracuse that they say is nice tattoo artists. This kid blew him out of the water. Easily blew him out of the water. Then there was another kid that I had that literally, bro, he would pull up from three. Like, he was a basketball player. He loved basketball. So he would pull up from three, like, at half court. And I ain't never seen that, bro. Like, that's some Steph Curry junk. And he 14 years old. You know what I mean? Like, so I started to see that. But then I started to realize, bro, like, we getting these kids in here for a year, and then we sending them back into that environment in which they came from. And I always used to say, it's like taking an animal out of the zoo, bro. Like, taking an animal out of the wild, putting them in the zoo, you get them structured, they're going to be awesome. But once you put them back in the wild, they're going to revert back into those old habits, into those old routines. And as human beings, we're creatures of habit, bro. So we do what we get used to. So they will leave and get right back in trouble. Right back in trouble, bro. So I'm like, you know what, man? Like, I got to do something more, especially having an idea of how the system treats minorities and young black men. I'm like, I got to do something more. And that was the spark that kind of ignited my thought process to at least start to shift towards not necessarily thinking about myself, but thinking about how I can make a positive impact kind of in the community or in my family at least.
Yeah. So I want you to talk a little bit about because you're an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Businessman, right?
Yes, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman.
You trying to quote Jay?
Listen, man.
Look at him. You see how this man dressed?
You see, I got a fedora on, skinny, man. I'm here.
I've never seen this guy in a fedora hat ever.
I'm here, man. I'm here.
I rose through concrete, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
Talk to me about that. Like, you just mentioned, like, you know, working in housing and all that. So that kind of like sparked.
Oh yeah, that was honestly the first spark for a Rose Through Concrete. Like, I didn't even, like, I knew how to do something. Like, I didn't know what it was or how I was gonna do it, but I knew something had to be done because I had been on the other side of it now, where, like, yeah, everybody talking about kids are bad, whatever the case may be, but, like, are you looking at their environment? Like, are you really looking at, because even now, like, anytime somebody tell me, like, oh, this kid is bad or I got it bad, show me their parents. Show me their grandparents. Show me their uncles. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, show me them people and I can show you where the flaws in the environment is. So stop telling kids they bad. Like, I took that out of my vocabulary. Even now when people say my daughter bad, I'm quick to, no. She's active and she's exploring. That's what she's doing. She's not bad. Don't call her bad. Because once you start labeling kids bad, what else they gonna think?
I see where you're going.
Yeah, like, what else you gonna think?
That makes sense.
Especially from one. Like, think about my
sense.
baby. She's 1 year old. So if you tell her she's bad from 1 until 13,
you bad. Stop doing that.
You know what I mean? Like, nah, bro. Like, you just struck a nerve. Sorry about that, bro. Let's get back to the regularly scheduled program, man.
It's like yo, the brain is one powerful thing,
bro.
yo.
I'm telling you, she a soft spot for me, man. So when I think about that, it's just like, damn. Like, and even me, like, I was always told I was a bad kid, bro. Like, and it was out of love, like, but people would literally, I kid you not, bro, you could ask my peoples whenever you get a chance, but people would pay me to cuss, bro. Like, literally, like, my aunt taught me to swear at a very early age, bro. So it was so fascinating to the older dudes and the OGs in the community. Like, they would literally pull me out the crib and be like, yo, cuss everybody in this circle out. And they would circle around, dead ass, bro. They would circle around me and I'd be like, bitch this, motherfucker that, blah, blah, blah. And I remember, like, pointing, like,
but
now.
Why though? That was like entertainment.
It's a thing.
For them,
I had to be maybe 5 or 6, bro. Imagine a 5 or 6 year old just firing off cuss words. Back in the day, though, like, it's not present day where it's like, it's normal. that back in the day, like you didn't cuss as a kid. Like you cussed as a kid, somebody in the community was gonna beat you.
Right.
You feel me? Like to them, me being able to cuss and have that free reign to cuss, it was like entertainment, and that's essentially what it was. And they would literally be like, "Yo, my name Little Fella is my nickname back home. Like that's what people call me." So they'd be like, well, they would literally put me out the house like, "Yo, Little Fella, I give you $5 if you cuss this dude out." And I'm like, "Word, $5, motherfucker, blah 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 blah." Like not knowing that, like that's feeding into a lot of the negativity and the negative stereotypes that go with coming from that environment.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that was the initial kind of spark that got me thinking about it. And then I started learning about emotional intelligence. Bro, listen. Emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
If you did not hear me say it, emotional intelligence. Bro, emotional intelligence. Like what emotional intelligence is by definition is being aware of feelings that arise within you. Mm-hmm. So knowing what situations piss you off, learning to manage those feelings. So being able to like not go into environments and lose your shit, basically. Recognizing that other people have those emotions as well. So like having a social awareness, like I'm not the only one that get jealous. I'm not the only one that get frustrated. I'm not the only one that gets sad, mad, whatever the emotion is. You're not the only one that experiences that, right? So having a recognition that you're not the only one. And then lastly, learning to manage your relationships. Like, so it's all about learning to manage your emotions and your relationships. And once I started learning that, I'm like, oh shoot, like, so you can be proactive before I even go into this room where I can't stand this mother effer. I'm gonna learn how to work through that, right? So it's like, all right, why am I going into this room in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going into this room to get a deal done. All right, I know I can't stand the person that's on the other end that's doing the deal. So let me make sure I'm being mindful of how I move, like my communication, my cadence, my nonverbal communication, right? And just having an awareness because you have to work with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot.
So you got to put these differences aside.
Exactly,
like
bro. And that's what,
business.
like, get rid of the emotions, bro. And I think, especially, like, people from my area or my community, like, we get so wrapped up in emotions that we don't see the bigger picture.
But that's
like,
how people make their decisions.
For real, bro.
There's a lot of their emotions that's like, put that aside.
For real, bro.
Put that aside when you make decisions.
And that's what emotional intelligence is. It's like, okay, you need this, I need that. How do we compromise, come to a middle ground, and figure this out? Because if we don't, I'm not going to get what I want, and you're not going to get what you want. You know what I'm saying? And I funny little side note, man. You watch Power?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yo, listen, man.
I thought it was corny. Like so the second to last season, I felt like it was getting corny, but it was kind of like one of them shows is corny, but I'm still watching it though. Yeah,
it definitely fell off.
I'm still watching it. I'm just trying to see who.
Content-wise, it fell off a little bit. We're trying to find out who shot Ghost.
Who shot Ghost. Coming back with January 4th or whatever. 5th, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big deal. But no, man, like I was watching it and it just hit me one day that you know the dude that he's Simon. So he's a white dude that's in the show that he only call when he need money or he needs something structured or something like that.
Simon, who?
He's like an older white dude in the show.
Oh, right.
Simon.
Talk,
and remember he was beefing with him at the
beginning.
Remember he was beefing with him at the beginning of this. Like they was going but tit for tat.
I know where you're going with this now,
bro. Emotional intelligence.
Yeah,
now they need each other. They went from all out war trying to.
He called them back in this past season.
Yes. And what it like if like and that's what I'm saying.
People that Ghost, you need me.
You need me, right? And then knowing that Ghost is moving into a political position, I'll need you too.
Yes.
You feel me? So I don't like you really, but we
could work. Yeah,
let's do this business thing. And I think that like if people could just realize that, bro, our communities, period, would be a lot further, man. But we get into heavy emotions, and it's like, nah, F that person, I don't need them, blah blah blah. Like, nah, you probably will need them at some point in time, man. You just got to be smart about it.
Yeah, you so right, man.
For real, bro. Like, and it's evident in a lot of places. Like, you know how many people cannot stand Donald Trump, bro? Yeah. Like, that literally can't stand this man and being in this, but they're going to get the deal done because they country need it. They area need it.
We all know he's an asshole, but at the same time, like...
They need to get it done.
Right, let's shut up. Let's get this work done.
Yes, bro.
I feel like us as a community, like that's what we do. We put it like we're a pride. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like our egos.
Yeah.
Like,
but the reason is, bro, is because like a lot of times in our communities, we're taught that thought drives emotion. So we think about it and then we just go with it. But it's really emotion that's driving thought, bro. Like if we feel some type of way or if we perceive a situation to be a particular kind of way, that's what we running with. Like we like, nah, F that, da da da. Whereas in more affluent communities, we'll be like, yeah, I'm pissed off right now, but this gonna affect my community in this way and that. Let me just hide these emotions. Let me just kind of tuck that away.
Isn't that hard to do, or like, is it? you have to practice it from a young age. Because I feel like for me now, like I try not to make decisions off my emotions or like, social media, like run with a story. Like I got to do my research first.
Yeah.
And I put like, X, Y, and Z, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, is it hard to like learn that?
I think it's hard to learn it, but it's practice though, bro. Like I'm telling you right now out of my own mouth that I only started doing this maybe when I was 26. So let's say 26.
Right.
When I was 26, I started to learn these things that I learned about the emotional intelligence. That was my first kind of introduction. I'm 31 now, bro. We talking about 5 years, bro.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so yes, it's gonna be difficult, but if you commit, like in a 5-year time frame, you'll have a whole new worldview, whole new thought process that's gonna get you further in life.
What's your stance on just like relationships? Like you're married, right?
Yes,
like,
sir.
Communication is key, but I've had arguments. I've been with my girl for 7 years. I've had arguments with her, and you ever had an argument with your wife or and your significant other, and like you see where you went wrong.
Yeah.
Like you could see the argument starting, and you see it like, and then you look back like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Because if I said that, that triggered her.
Yes.
That triggered me.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. It's like, but you ever like, kind of like you're in your own movie. I don't know. You're in your, like you see
before it
the
happens.
escalating. And I've seen people argue in front of me. I was like, shit, he about to say something.
Like,
from 0 to 100, like
Bro,
fast. Like
it happens, man. And like I used to, first of all, shout out to my wife. I love you, baby. I love my babies, one inside you and the one we got already. But it happens, bro. Like I've gotten in a couple arguments with my wife, and I've met her kind of in the midst of the emotional intelligence shift and all that. So like I was still practicing, and like when she was my girlfriend and even my fiance, like we got into arguments where I'm like, I'll allow myself to just explode, like. But then it's like, bro, why? You know what I mean? Like for what? Like we got to start looking at stuff and before we even get to the point where we explode, especially if I love you, like, cause I want my message to be delivered with love. I don't want to talk down to you or treat you like you're not significant to me because you are. You my baby. I love you. So I started to look at that, bro, and like something that I do now that I think is like profound, and I try to tell everybody, especially when you feel yourself, because when you get mad, there's an area in your body that you start to feel it first. Like it's just sensation you feel. Either you like your ears start to get hot, your head start to get hot, you start to feel it flowing up from your feet. Like it's coming from somewhere. So there's an area of your body that you're starting to get mad. When you feel that, bro, like you got to be proactive. And when you do feel it, you got to ask yourself, bro, like if I go there, if I take it to the furthest extent, number one, is it worth it? Because females way more emotional than we are.
Yeah.
So to shut her down or to make her feel insignificant, like, is that worth it at the end of the day? And then there's also the questions you got to ask, like, is this shit gonna matter tomorrow? Is it gonna matter next week? Is it gonna matter in a year?
I'm just trying to win an argument.
For real, bro. And it's like, if that junk don't matter, I don't give a damn, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go crazy, go ham. Are you done yet? Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
But I feel like at the end of the day, like you have to know your partner. You have to know what triggered them. If I'm coming home from a 12-hour shift and I just need a beer and some food, like if my shorty knows that, like, yeah, let me set some food down on the table. Like, I know he's coming home from a 12-hour shift. I'm not gonna like ask him X, Y, Z, and it's vice versa too. If it's a woman coming home and a man, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Same thing. Like you have to know them that not to ask them about X. We had a long day,
and that's what it is too, bro. Like I think a lot of times we get involved in. All right, I'm about to get deep with you, bro.
No, go ahead.
All right. So a lot of times we get involved in relationships, not knowing the fact that like there's a chemical, literally, and you can look this stuff up. Like there's a chemical release in your brain that like when you see somebody, if they bad, like say for example, you're attracted to girls with big butts. Like if you see somebody with a fat butt and a pretty face, like there's literally chemicals that release in your brain that's like, oh goddamn, like like you know what I mean?
We're
like,
human,
I mean, like we've all experienced this before.
Right.
Like I know I have. And there's chemicals released in your brain, and it's like those chemicals can last from anywhere from 3 months to 6 years. So like literally you could be feeling somebody for all the way up until 6 years and then wake up on that 6 years and 7th day like, nah, I'm not feeling this person. Like I don't know what I was thinking, or I don't know what I was getting into in this situation. So like that's important, bro. Like you got to have a knowledge of like, is this an endorphins release situation, or is this somebody I can really build with? And you'll see those flags as you go along. But what'll happen is we'll get involved in those relationships. We'll have sex, have a kid. Now you got a kid, and 6 years later, you don't even like this dude or girl, and you got to deal with them still because there's a child involved. And that's where the resentment piece comes into play. Now it's like, yo, I hate this dude because he don't do this, that, and the third, or I hate this girl because she don't do this, that, and the third, where you wasn't really taking into consideration all the red flags you saw early on in the relationship.
But people don't talk.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, so we boys, right? If we have an issue, like, say last year, I feel like we should have talked about it, like, probably like last year. Not building up. Like,
immediately, bro. Like,
know?
don't, if even like, now, I'll just be honest, like, if you bring up something that happened mad long ago to me as a topic of discussion and you not my wife because she always get the grace, like, you can't be around me no more, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even want you around me because how long have that been dwelling in your brain? Like, how long have you been sitting on that? And what kind of passive-aggressive stuff have you done in between them?
So that passive-aggressive shit is...
For real, bro. Like, yeah, for real, bro.
Roommate issues and shit.
For real, bro. It's like,
yo,
what happened in between then and now? And, like, I was in relationships with people like that before, prior to my wife. Like, literally, like... And like something would happen and then months would go by and they like, oh yeah, and you did this, that, and I'm like, whoa, like you had a problem with that and you just now saying that? Something ain't right, bro. Like something's not right, and like you'll see that a lot, and people like that, not even just boyfriend, girlfriend. I invite people to stay away from them. Yeah. Like because it's like you got some other stuff going on, some ulterior motives going on, which is cool, but move out your way.
And when I notice with my girl, like she's the type of person like I like to like ash it out right then and there, but she's the type of person, she's silent. Like she just want to take some time and sink it in. And I've learned that. Yeah. Like babe, let's talk about it. Like why we was mad by it. And like I've learned like let her have her space. Yeah. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Yeah. I'm the type of person like let's figure it out now. She's like, let's talk about it tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. So I figured that out and.
You learned your partner, bro. You learned your partner, which is like, how many people, I shouldn't say how many people, let me backtrack. It's not a lot of people that's willing to put in that work, bro. Yeah. Like a lot of people just think a relationship should be this way. If it don't go this way, then I'm out of here. Right. Like, no, you got to learn that person, bro. Like, especially like for me, one of the biggest things that like I love my wife for, bro, is like she literally was patient with me, bro. Like those times when I flip shit, like hell nah, blah 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 blah. She like, yo, baby, like come on now, like keep it together, like in that balance, bro. I need that. Like if I had somebody else that was hype with me, it'd be war. Like nah, they did this, that, or third to me at this place, and they was like, oh yeah, they did that. Let's go. Like
keyword patience,
bro. Like and that was huge. Like she literally like. You know what I mean? Like she was patient with me, bro, and that was like, oh shoot, it was scary at first. Don't get me wrong. Like damn, like. I'm spazzing and she just saying it's okay and stuff like that. What's going on here? There's no argument back. But I needed that, bro. Like I needed that balance to understand like everything don't deserve a 10, bro. Every reaction, like every situation don't deserve you to be here. Like some situations deserve you to be here. Some situations you don't even need to address, bro. Like some stuff is just like, oh, he said this, that, and the third about you. Whatever. He not where I am mentally. So all right, whatever the case may be. But like I was very reactive, bro. Especially like when I first met her, I was reactive, bro. Like you say something, I'm like, oh what? Oh, on it, bro. Like and we ain't even talking.
Like somebody
about
just attacking you.
You know what I mean? Like and it was as a result of my trauma, bro. Like that was what it is. Like I can't let you slide off of nothing. Like you can't say this to me without me saying what you say or like how you feel. Are you sure you feel in this type of way? Even if the person that's communicating with me was just communicating it. If I felt some type of way or I felt it was like a little sly, we talking. Like what you trying to do? You know what I mean? And I think that type of mentality plays into society where it's like people want you to react so they can be like, oh, see, I told you, look at that angry black man.
You in control of your own emotions, though. I always tell my RAs that. Like, you working with college students, you live on the floor with them. Like, you work for Res Life. Like, students could say certain shit to you, but you know you work for us. You can't really, like, go off on them. Listen, you in control of your own emotion.
Bro,
like, don't let people control.
You my boy, man. Dude, like, you just hit a spot for me, man.
Yeah,
like,
bro. I've learned that, like, 2 years ago. You in control of your own shit.
And that's the thing, bro. Like, literally, I don't give a damn what happened to you outside of you. Yeah. I don't care what happened to you. Like, I not literally. This is in a figurative context. But like, whatever happened outside of you, you are in control how you react, right? So you can't like. I used to always get kids that be like, "Oh, well, he made me do that." Like, how? How did they make you do that? Did they hold a gun to your head and say, if you didn't do this? No, they didn't. Okay, they didn't make you do nothing. Like, and I think that's another thing too, bro. Like, we give so many other people the power. Like, you can't make me do nothing I don't want to do. Now, if we do end up getting into a crazy hectic situation, then you know what I mean? I engaged in it, but like, hell no. Like, you can't make me. I'm in control. And I think that a lot of times that people miss that, bro, is like, nah, bro, like, I don't care if you, like, everything is 50-50 when it comes to you. Like, your job is 50-50, your relationship is 50-50. At any point in time, if you're not feeling that other 50%, bye.
Gone.
You know what I mean? Like, and don't even waste time.
Yeah.
Don't even waste time, because, like, when you continue to engage and waste time in those situations, that's where the resentment come into play. Like, oh, this mother effer making me do this, or this person making me do that. Like, nah, bro. Nah, this is my decision. I'll be jobless for a while, or I'll be without a woman for a while if this is the case. But, like, I'm making the decisions.
Yeah.
Like you said, you 100% in control of the way you respond to situations.
And I always hear that when you just mentioned that the kid said, like, oh, he made me do that.
Bro, that young
I always hear that with little kid. Like,
even now, bro,
right,
like that's a pet peeve for me. I'm be like, oh my God, man.
Yeah, like,
oh, you know, another one, like, why did you do that? I don't know. God damn it. If you don't know, who do? You the only one inside of your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those two things are, you know what I mean? I'm working on my emotional intelligence, but those two things are pet peeves for me, bro.
I feel like life would be a better place if people control their emotions and know that they're in control of their own emotions.
Very true. But
and put their egos aside.
Yeah, bro, but it pays to be ignorant, bro. Like, ignorance pays. Like, whether you believe it or not, whether you agree with it or not, like, if you don't have a thought process of your own, or if you don't think for yourself and you follow other people, like, somebody gonna take advantage of it. Like, you don't have people that love Apple, like, and literally, like, you got Apple loyalists. And I'm not saying the Apple products are bad, but literally, anytime you got Apple that come out, you got people in line. Or Jordans, that's another one. That's another.
Oh yeah,
one.
I used to be one of them. Me and
For
Sway,
real, bro.
Me and Sway used
For
to
real.
be, but now no more. Now no more.
I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah,
So it's like you got to understand that there's a thought process behind that, and not only that, but there's propaganda behind that. Like, all right, like if you don't think for yourself, if you think that it's cool to stand in this line with all these other people, we gonna cater to that. It's easy money for us. We selling out shoes every time we drop them. For real, bro. It's
That's
real.
like a different conversation.
It is, bro. It's deep, man. It's deeper than rap,
It's a different
man.
type of slavery these days.
It is, bro. Like it's all mental, and it's like it's funny because I always grew up like thinking that like you had to be buff and like you had to be. I mean, you had to be able to defend yourself. Blah blah blah. Man, you bugging, bro. If you can control this in people, like if you can convince somebody, like, yo, you should do this, or like one of a good one that I always use. One of the residents that I worked with. Obviously, it shall remain nameless. He has some developmental stuff going on, so he was a little off mentally. I don't think he ever was diagnosed with a developmental disability.
Right.
But he in jail now, bro, because a OG told him to shoot somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just like that is a very good realization of how stuff works. Like, it might be on a smaller scale, but that's the same thing that Apple and all of these large companies are doing to us. Like, they're like, oh, you need to buy this. You need to be in this line. And we like, you sure about that? And they're like, yeah, you do. And then we like, all right, well, get in the line, man.
It's kind of like every 9 months. Like,
for real, bro.
The 11 came out. Like,
for real, bro.
And this November coming up.
For real, bro. And
it's going to be another phone locked in for like another, like, what? 2 years to pay like bro. pay $1,100 off.
Yeah, bro. Like, and it's amazing when you get that view of it. And again, like, I'm not like, don't let me trying to sound like I'm putting these companies down or whatever the case may be, because I'm not. Like, that's genius. You know what I mean? Like, if you could just create a brand that has loyal people that will follow you no matter what, no matter how many defective devices you got, no matter how many times you drop the same kicks over the years, you know what I mean? Like, if you can grow that type of following, God bless you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's you making money doing what you need to do.
So, earlier you mentioned like working with resident and seeing where they came from, right? Mm-hmm. So, me just working with college students, like. It's so much stuff I want to ask. Like, it's a lot of stuff, bro. Mm-hmm. Seeing them coming from like Patterson, the surrounding counties and communities and stuff, like these students are coming from high school and they're not ready for college at all.
Not at all, bro.
Like what's the, like, I guess, what's the main factor do you see like play every year with these students, like that you see, or like
you mean specifically college students, or like that kind of population or that area?
That, and like, because I know you speak at a lot of college, universities and all that. What's the main reason you see with like these younger like generations?
I honestly, why they struggle just to make sure. I think, man, like there's a huge social skills deficit, bro. Like something that I was even just talking to my dad about probably a couple days ago is like, when we came home, bro, like it was no phone, no PlayStation, no nothing. Like you was getting that work done.
Yeah.
You wasn't playing with your friends. You wasn't doing none of that, bro. Like you were going to your room. You were doing your homework. If you needed help, mommy or daddy was going to help you, or my older sister was also a big piece of my life. Growing up. So like we were doing our homework and then we might be able to socialize or whatever the case may be. Now, I think a lot of parents give their kids free range, which I don't necessarily agree with that, bro, because it's like, all right, here, go play with your friends, or you could talk to your friends, or like, you know what I mean? Like people getting tablets and phones at like 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, and I'm
that's
like,
the times though, man.
And that's the time. So it's like we're catering to a society that's creating a gap of social skills, which is not good, bro. Because one of the most alarming things that I've seen recently, bro, is that adolescents from the age of like 10 to 14, suicide rate has increased. Yeah, bro, 33%. Like, and if we really talking about impacts, like I firmly believe that's because of our social skills deficit, and it's because everybody is so conditioned to be on Facebook or social media. Like that's how you get your gratification, not knowing that that's an entirely artificial environment. Like those likes don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't. Like in real life, like it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like especially someone with a business, I appreciate people liking my business, sharing it, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, like I don't take that out into my real life and be like, oh, okay, I got 100 likes today. That must mean I'm this cool dude or I'm this great person. Like, no,
it's
bro.
It's a different world.
It is. And like
social media.
And I don't think people realize that. So you got a bunch of people and kids especially that can go to social media, post a picture in a chain or like having a boob out or whatever the case may be, and it's like 200 likes, 200 likes, 200 likes. But that same person can't go into society and have a conversation with somebody like near you. Like, you know
they
what I
live
mean?
on their phone, a
yes,
tablet,
and
a computer.
It's creating social anxiety, bro, and it's unfortunate. It really is. That's the biggest thing I see, where it's just like people are scared to be social, like scared to come up to you and say, hi, how you doing? Or like, a thing that I like to do with college students especially is ask, tell me your 5 strengths. If you can identify 5 areas of strength, okay, now you got a little something going with you. Then I'll take it to the next level. Tell me your area of weaknesses. Give me 5 areas that you think you weak in or you need improvement. Yeah. Like, if you could do that, now I'm like, okay, somebody been teaching you these skills and teaching you how to be self-reflective and do self-evaluation.
Right.
Because a lot of times that's not taught, bro. Especially now, I think, and it's going to continue to get worse, bro. I really firmly believe that we're, like, parents, not that they not doing it, but some don't have the time. Like, you got parents that's working, like, 3 jobs, bro. You know what I mean? Like, when do you have time to sit with a kid and say, yo, we need to process your emotions. Like, we need to find out what's going on. Or, like, yo, you really, really great at this area, Tyrone, but we need you to work on that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just interesting to see like how this technology era is gonna go.
It's a shift, bro. Like, and it's not all bad. I think what happens is we need to have somebody that's a buffer, bro. That's like, okay, it's cool. Like, even entertainment. Like, I had an argument with, I wouldn't even say argument. I had a conversation with somebody the other day about Cardi B, right? And they're like, oh my God, Cardi B is the worst. She's infecting our kids. She blah blah blah. She's making them. And I'm like, but Cardi B only getting money. You know what I mean? Right. Like, Cardi B's only thought process is to get money. Whatever that means at the end of the day, if that means creating a list of young ladies that feel like it's okay to be hoes or whatever the case may be, she don't care. Like, she living her life. It's up to you as the parent to be like, yo, you know what? Cardi B is just entertaining. You know what I mean? Cardi B is a whole married woman. Like, she's not really out here busting it open like she's talking about in the songs. You know what I mean? Like, you need that buffer to let kids know, like, this is that's a fantasy land that these people are talking about. Even like, bro, this made me sick. But I watched an interview the other day, and Future said that he don't do drugs. Like, did you ever see that, or never did, like Percocets and all of that?
He said he don't.
Yo, bro, listen. I was watching it the other day. I almost fell out of my chair. Like, even if
that's his whole career,
bro.
So.
And he said this in the interview though. Like, he was like, I only do it because it's sell records, or I only do it because it's making me money. This is how I sell. Like, so, bro, you just created an entire generation of like people who think it's cool to be a junkie.
But that's
you're not even doing it.
That's the generation, even with Mac Miller and Juice WRLD Pass.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
and all these young artists, like
there's no
pills
buffer, bro.
And Like back in the days in the 90s, like it was weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, hard drug. Like, weed ain't gonna, not gonna kill you like that. You know,
but now it's shifted. You know what I mean? Like it's shit. Like you literally have these young people that shift in their thought process. Like, oh, Percocets is cool, or like, God rest his soul, Juice WRLD swallowed all them pills. Like, are you, bro? What? Like, you thought nothing was gonna happen to you?
I go to prison.
You know what I mean? Like, listen, or like, yo, where's the dude on the team that's taking the charges?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, that was just bad. All of that, bro. Like, but it's the reality too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I keep saying this buffer thing. Like, you need somebody to be like, hey, listen, like, we know that Future is very famous and he making this money off of saying Molly's and Percocets, but listen, this is the real deal. You do Molly and Percocets, you can end up with holes in your brain.
Right.
Like, you can have seizures and die. You know what I'm saying? Like, that piece of it is not being brought to the table.
But is it exposed to them with the tablet and the phone and everything? You know what I'm saying? As you said, from a young age, like 7, 8, 9 years old.
And that's where the parents come into play, bro. Like, there's not a parent in this world that could tell me that somebody else could be a role model to their kid. You know what I'm saying? And now I say that with a grain of salt. If you have real struggles like mental health, if you do drugs, you on cocaine, crack, whatever, like if you really have some stuff going on with you, by all means, like get yourself straight before you interact with your kid. But like how easily people be telling like, oh yeah, like this is my role model. Like ain't no way. Let Abigail Nyla Mae Dixon tell me that Cardi B her role model. Man, man, listen.
She probably won't say that.
Yeah,
knowing you as a
listen,
dad,
man, listen, let her, bro. What, bro? Listen, man. Listen, I have to use some scare tactics, man. I take all her CDs and set them on fire right in front of her. Like, nah, this ain't happening. For real, bro. And like people laugh and even I laugh, but that's serious, bro. Like, ain't nobody else about to be my kid role model, bro. Yeah. Like I'm the one that she see. If whoever you dating is not like daddy, or you know what I mean, not opening car doors, he not willing to go to that extra mile for you, he gotta go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or she gotta go. If you got a friend that's not all about you and want your well wishes, you gotta go. Period. Like, we can't be friends because that's how I operate, bro. Like, people that I chill with and that I'm around, bro, thank God too. Like, it's not just by me, of course. Like, I got to give God the glory and the praise, but like, I legitimately have people around me right now that want nothing but the best for me, and vice versa, bro. Like, it's the same. Like, so I'm in a circle right now where like you can't come into me with this negative energy. Like, you can't even be around us with this negativity, and you damn sure not about to be around my baby with it.
Yeah. Because it's a contagious thing.
It is, bro. And all you need is one, bro. Like, everybody be like, oh, yeah, no, we got that one negative friend. Like, all you need is one,
I'm pretty sure you probably scared when she's about to go to school.
Absolutely, bro. Like that's all, like, bro, like, I got mad anxiety, bro. Like, that never came about until I became a father, bro. Like, straight up. Like, I got stuff.
Even daycare.
Even daycare, all of that, bro. Like I literally, bro, man, I cannot imagine, like, being one of the parents of somebody that come to daycare and like your kid got a bloody lip and a black eye, like you be seeing on social.
Explain that, yeah. Or even the camera, it's just like they throwing kids.
Bro, listen, honest to God, listen, man, that would take me into it. Not even take me. I would gladly engage in some crazy activities if you think you about to play my baby like that. Straight like that.
Even sexual abuse. Like,
no, I mean, like, I'm like,
listen, bro, you want to get into like,
not even, bro. Like, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Like, nah, bro. Like, it's not going down this way. Like, you not about to just rock out like that. Like, it's not. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure you know this, but you have some sick people in this world.
You do, bro. Like, and that's why, like,
I want to leave my kid around nobody,
bro. Like, listen, and that's how I am. Yeah. Like, you bugging. Like, can't happen. No, she can't. Like, no, like
sleepovers.
No, none of that. You tripping, bro. None of that. Yeah, listen, I tell people this too. Like, if you want my daughter to sleep over at your crib, prepare for me to stake outside your crib. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm so serious. Like, I'll sleep right in my car to make sure everything good money over that way. Because the second my baby called me and start crying,
your kids, especially like with all these young women being kidnapped, like
with
lately.
My life, bro. Yeah. Like, listen, this is a family thing, bro. Like, you take one, you better be prepared to take all of us, bro, or you gonna have some fun on your hands.
Yeah, this shit.
And it's wicked, bro. Like, we just in a wicked world, and that's the good piece about social media, though. Like, you get that exposure to the sick people in the world, so you can't go around here thinking, oh, it's okay if you walk down the street by yourself, or it's okay if you... Nah, bro, it's not okay. Like, daddy gonna be there 24/7 or mommy gonna be there. Like, you not standing on a bus stop on your own. You not engaged. Like, this is not happening. Like, very, very clear with the boundaries that I'm gonna set with that I do set even now with my child, not just for her sake, but for me too. Like I'm sticking and moving in this industry right now, bro. I don't need nobody to take me off or sidetrack me and make sure like I don't want to be negative, bro. Like I'm not like I literally have come from such a negative place and such a negative spot that I pull myself out of, bro. Like I can care less to engage in any type of negativity. Yeah. But it's like, just leave my family alone. We got money.
Speaking of your daughter and family, right? So I present to parents every summer at orientation, right? Mm-hmm. And I always tell them, like, your son or your daughter is gonna make mistakes. Yeah. It's college. Yeah. And they look at me like I have 3 heads. Like, yo, it's life. They're gonna make they're probably not gonna like their roommate. Yeah. Hopefully they don't fail a class. Like, they're gonna make mistakes, but residence life, that's what we're here for. And hopefully they learn from those mistakes. Like, do you feel scared for your daughter making mistakes in life?
Nah, not at all, bro. Like, make as many mistakes as possible, bro. Like, for real. Like, I want her to be even now, this is funny, but she's a daredevil, bro. Like, she jump off of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just crazy stuff, bro. Right. Like, real quick story. Like, literally 2 days ago, right? So we sitting on a couch. Like, we have a couch, basically kind of this distance away from each other, and she jumping, and I'm like, baby, stop jumping. Like, you gonna hurt yourself, right? And out of the corner of my eye, bro, I don't even know what prompted me to look over again, but I saw her body move different. So she went from jumping up and down like this to like this. So I look over, and as I'm looking over, bro, she's flying through the air like this. Like, she literally is flying in slow motion, like on some Matrix junk, And I'm like, oh shoot, and caught her, bro, literally right before she hit the ground. And she laughing like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. And I'm like, yo, you have no idea.
Yeah, what about if I did come
bro, the danger in that situation. Yeah. But it's like I take those moments and I'm like, instead of getting frustrated, because immediately my first reaction is to yell or become frustrated with her, because it's like, yo, that's dangerous.
For sure.
But I got to process that and look at it like, bro, like, this is her being creative. She's exploring right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times that we limit our kids' ability to explore, and that causes them to have social anxiety, bro. Like, and this is where this whole social skills deficit comes into play. Like, nah, bro. Like, and I'll be telling people in my area too, like, don't invite me to an award show. Don't ask me to come up on stage to receive an award if you don't expect my baby to be up there with me, bro. Yeah. Like, and it's not just about me and her. It's about the exposure to crowds now. Like, now when you go into a crowd, you don't got to be nervous, baby. Like, we did this already. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's building a body of evidence for her so she see as she get older, you don't got to be scared to speak in front of your class, baby. Like, remember when daddy took you on the stage, and remember when we did this, that, and the third.
Like, so use your words.
Use your words, bro, and that's it, bro. Like, I'm exposing her to as many things as possible. She can make as many mistakes as possible because daddy gonna beat her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, daddy gonna beat her to catch that. You know what I mean? Like, literally, not to turn that into a kind of an analogy or whatever, but daddy gonna beat her to catch you, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't care what nobody say. Like, my daughter can be the wrongest person in the world, bro. She won't know that in public. Like, we riding. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she wrong, we riding with that. And then I'll come explain it later to her where she was wrong at. And then if I need to, I'll come publicly and explain where she was wrong at. But nah, you won't get the satisfaction of making my daughter feel like she insignificant.
Yeah, because I see a lot of helicopter parent. Like, they will come, bro, and we talk in behalf of the student.
Nah, bro.
I was like, why is the student not coming to my office talking to me about their roommate issues? Like, why are you in this? I get it. Like, mom, you could talk to mom, but mom shouldn't be calling me about a little washing up dishes in the damn
And what you gonna do kitchen now when mom gone?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you get, because that's going to happen. And please don't get me wrong. Like, I'll prepare my daughter for that piece too. By the time she get to college, you're going to have to be at a stick and move, baby. You know what I mean? That's just because college is just a preparation for the real world, bro. Yeah. And if I'm coming in here and talking to your RD and you 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, whoa. Like, I done taught you how to.
By then, she should know how to navigate through an intellectual conversation. Nobody over a certain time, clean up your dishes, passive aggressive emails and all that,
bro. And
texts,
and that's where the parent, that's what I was saying. That going back to the original topic of discussion, the parent got to realize you the influence. Like, if you keep coming in and saving them, when are they gonna save themselves?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Because I see a lot of parents, they go is there a curfew?
Yeah.
Curfew?
I think it's
come on, college.
The other funny thing is this is an affluent area. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of those parents, like, they used to that. Yeah. Man, my pops was like, I love my dad, like, to death. Because he was like, all right, you gonna fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it'll be all right.
You gonna bounce back.
And that's it. Like, that literally was kind of my tutelage. Like, and then I would call him, especially in college, like, I would call him like, yo, Dad, I fucked up. I did this, that, and the third. And he'd be like, all right, what we gonna do now?
Yeah.
Like, and even, like, as recent as the other day, like I just said, like, I called him and I'm like, yo, Dad, like, because my daughter did something that was frustrating me. I'm like, yo, Dad, like, yo, da-da-da-da, like, you know what I mean? Because I'm constantly trying to work on being a great father and a better father. So I'm like, yo, Dad, this is what happened. And he's like, okay, like, that happened with you too, so what we gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, it's never like, oh, you need to do this, that, and the third. It's like, okay, what we gonna do? Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, all right, I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? Another thing that I even, like, I love this quote, man. I love my pops for this quote. But I used to play football. Mm-hmm. And, like, anytime that I would complain, because in football, people hold you and do, like, just this little messed up stuff like that and, like, trip you and stuff like that. And, like, when I would come to the sideline, he would always have something to say, like, yo, what's going on? Like, you need to get with it. Like, you need to make a play. And I'm like, yo, Dad, you see him out there holding me? And I'll never forget it, bro. He used to tell me, like, straight dead, look me in the face. You either gonna make a play or you gonna make excuses. Yeah. You're gonna make excuses or you're gonna make a play. Like, I don't want to hear nothing else. And that was so profound for me because that's the real world, bro. Like, the world don't give a damn about your excuses, bro. You either doing something or you not.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you that, like, which you should, but, like, people always say, like, yo, you a good dad, like, but you should be a good dad. Yeah. Does that make sense to you? Like,
it's a fucked up mentality, bro.
But, like you're a good dad, like, you should be a good dad.
Yeah, like, and I always, like, you know and that's when people be saying that, bro, like, it bothers me for real, bro. Like, it really does because, like, it's cool and all, but, like, nah, bro, I'm not trying to be good. I'm trying to be great. Yeah. You feel me? Like, I'm not trying to be, like, I'm trying to be so in tune as a parent, bro. Like, you don't even got to tell me what's going on. Like, I feel the energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when people be saying that, it make me feel weird, bro. Like, honestly, it's just like, I'm supposed to be.
That should be the norm.
Like, yeah, like you're supposed to be a good dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to be at least a decent parent, bro. Like, your child did not ask to be brought into this world, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're supposed to be at least a decent parent. I'm trying to hit that next level, bro. Yeah. You feel me? Like, I'm trying to hit that next level, and that perpetuates everything else I do, bro.
If Abigail could come to you about, like, anything. She could be like, yo, bro, Daddy, I'm telling you, I have this one boy issue, bro, whatever.
I want it all, bro.
Like, she could, like, come to you about certain things. She didn't have to hide, bro. And even when she get to college campus, like, yo, my daddy always tell me he loves me.
For real, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
who what?
For real,
what?
bro.
Give me
like,
Instagram, whatever.
For real, bro.
Like, hey, I'm not for that. Yeah.
And that's it, bro. Like, and I just want that connection, bro, because, like, I've been in places, or just mentally, not that I ever literally was abandoned or literally didn't have anybody, but, like, yo, bro, I felt abandoned during periods in my life. Like, I didn't have nobody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even, like, just my parents, period. Like, I couldn't really be myself with anybody, and I felt like that, bro, because I didn't know how to process emotions. So it's like, now that I have this understanding and I know how to process emotions, I would be a fool to set my baby back, bro. Like, regardless of whatever it is that is communicated, even if it's a boy thing, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be mad as hell. I'll probably go outside and yell and, you know what I'm saying? Get myself together, like, woo, shake it off. But, like, I want to hear that, bro, because, like, who else you gonna tell? Yeah. Who else can you keep it real with? Like, I want the all the way authentic version of my baby, and I want her to know, like, Daddy here, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Daddy here, we can do whatever we gotta do, but Daddy got your back.
Yeah, you here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's special to me, bro. It really is, because, like I said, bro, I felt abandoned at times in my life, even taking it, like, to a trauma context. I remember this one time, my mom, because my mom babysits my daughter, one of the very few people we trust. But my mom was babysitting my baby for a period of time. Like, I would go pick my mom up, she'd come get my daughter, whatever the case might be. One day, my mom didn't answer the phone, bro, like, at all. And, like, I lost my shit, bro. Like, I'm like, not even thinking about work. Forget work. Like, you bugging. You will never have my baby feel like she's abandoned, bro. Like, you will never have my baby feel like she's in a situation where somebody else controls her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was enraged, bro. Like, even with knowing all this emotional intelligence stuff and having the mindfulness, like I was enraged, bro. But it was a mistake, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't even. I was so traumatically messed up from the abandonment that you know what I mean. Like I didn't even take into context. Like damn, my mom overslept. Like it's okay. It's not the end of the world. But my brain automatically went to, oh, you trying to play my baby? Oh, you trying to leave her by? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like once I started to realize that, it's like okay. Like you got to do more processing of the areas in your brain in which you compartmentalize trauma.
Damn, I see where you're coming from.
For real, bro. It's deep.
I understood why you got upset and mad.
It's deep, bro. And it's like I literally, like, again, going back to substance abuse, like I literally was left places, bro. Like my oldest sister Taya did a lot of raising me, bro. That's because my parents wasn't there. I mean, my parents was doing anything. Yeah. So it's like, nah, bro. No, that's not happening with my baby, bro. I don't want it to happen. And it's not of any faults of my parents. Like I said, like I love my parents to death. Yeah. I wouldn't trade them in for the world. But it's just like not being able to process that stuff made me compartmentalize. And it's not until I had my daughter and enter parenthood that I'm like, oh, shoot, like I got some deep-seated trauma that I have not dealt with.
Yeah. All right. So do you agree with me or disagree with me when I say, like, life is simple, but people complicate life? Meaning that, say, for example, right, I have my Jeep, right? I know I should put premium in it, but I put regular gas, right? I know I should drink, like, 8 glasses of water a day, but I'm drinking soda and drinking liquor every day.
Absolutely.
Like, it's kind of simple rules to life.
Yeah.
People fucking complicate life.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%, bro.
Like life, I get it. You have financial struggles, like mental health issues. So I get it. But life is very simple. It's very simple rules. But people just complicate it.
The emotions, bro. I'm telling you, that's why emotional intelligence is so huge, because people get wrapped up in emotions. Like literally, like I have a mentor that I'll go to at work. Cool older dude. He's been in the human service industry for a long time, and he's like, yo. Like he literally he showed me this, and it was so simple, bro. It's like problem on a whiteboard. He wrote the word problem, right? And then he just wrote trees off of it. It's like, do something about it, don't do nothing about it, right? So whatever the problem is, you either do something about it, right? And you get it figured out, and then you keep working through that channel, or you don't, and you just sit there and stop complaining about it, bro. And it's literally that simple. Like you either gonna do something or you're not. Yeah. People get stuck in the complaining piece though, bro. And it's just like people never get out of that state. So that's where life become complicated. Because you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're not simplifying it. You overlooking the simplification of life.
And they stagnate, just like complain. I hate complaining. Like I get it. Like you should be having meetings, No, you got to do X. Sometimes I hate meetings.
Yeah, bro.
I just want to go out there and like do it. I get it. We have meetings for a reason, you know, agendas and all that.
I think a lot of times, honestly, bro, like people be calling meetings just to meet, bro. Like it just be like we having a meeting. We having a meeting for a meeting about the meeting that we had last time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of times when you get into those situations, it's because people don't have a plan in the meetings, bro. Like, yo, this is what's going on in this meeting. This is how we handling this. And there's also timelines to it too. Like, yo, or if you're in charge of this area of the meeting, I need it by this date. I need that by this date. Now we not coming back and talking about the same stuff over again that we talked about last meeting. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get caught up in that, and it's like, nah, that's one thing I don't do. Like, if we meeting, we not talking about the thing we talked about last time. If we still on that topic of discussion, unless it's a coaching situation, if we still on the topic of discussion, I'm not meeting you a third time.
Yeah. And the thing is, I always tell my RAs, like, if I have nothing to meet with you guys and talk to you guys about, I'm not going to waste your time. Yeah. I text them in the group chat, hey, meeting canceled. I'm not going to sit here and meet with you, like, for 20 minutes until sometimes I probably could email you. I think try not to waste their time.
I think people, like, when they do this meeting thing, it makes them feel like they doing something.
Like, nah, bro, fuck that.
And that's it. It's just pump faking,
I don't want to waste nobody's time. I hate wasting people's time, bro.
That's all it is.
If I could just email you or send you a quick, like, group chat, like text, I do that. But certain things we know we have to meet and process and talk about and make goals. But I canceled 3 staff meetings out of 14.
I bet they love you for that too, bro.
Yeah, I told in the beginning.
And that's the thing too. Like, I don't think people realize, like, You only catering to your ego when you keep calling these meetings, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell me what I need to be told on the side. Like, and then now you dragging people in, you forcing them to come in. Now that's where the resentment come into play. Like, now it's like, oh, damn, I got to do this because Skinny told me to come in here and now we got to meet. It's the same meeting we done talked about. Like, that's where people start not to like you. You don't throw them no bones. Like, you know they got a lot of stuff going on. So, yo, listen, just so y'all know, the meeting, we going to meet this week, but next time our meeting is canceled.
I lost my train of thought just now. So, all right, you ever supervise people?
Oh yeah.
Okay, but like you ever
bless your heart, brother.
Or you ever had a boss like where like you just when you reach their level you don't want to be them because you don't want people to talk about you?
Yeah.
Like, I try because like positions that I'm applying for right now, I'm trying not, and I'm not throwing shades or anything, but like in the past, like I'm not trying to be my previous supervisor because I don't want people to be saying shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again, like you can't please everyone, but again, boundaries, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the first thing I would say. Like, you're not gonna please everybody. Like, somebody not gonna like you. Like, I had somebody tell me like, oh, they don't like my haircut. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like,
that's a personal shit.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a personal problem with you, number one. But number two, I think the more important thing for you, bro, is just coming to the realization and understanding that, like, you can take a little bit from everyone, but you got to be you, bro. Like, people love authentic people, bro. Like, people love genuineness, like, all of that robot stuff. People don't like that, bro.
A lot of the RAs tell me that.
For real, bro. Like, and
like, yeah, I appreciate you, JT, just like being
for real, bro. Like, and just be you. So if there's a position that you get in that they don't allow you to be you, don't take it, bro.
Yeah.
Because like, there's nothing that should be compromised when it comes to your own personal principles and integrity. Like for example, something that I used to struggle with a lot is like people used to tell me I laugh and I smile too much. Like, bro, I swear to goodness, like you smile too much, you laugh, you too happy. Like,
I would just reply like, okay,
for real, bro. Like, but it messed me up because like, I'm like, damn, this is me. Like, this is just naturally, I'm a happy person. Like, my baseline,
you had
bro.
people that told you that?
For real, bro, in real life. And I'm talking about people that's above me. I'm not talking about, like, people that's at my position.
So they're trying to tell you, like, don't smile,
or we don't like that kind of thing, or it's not becoming. But either way, bro, like, you know me. Like, I stand on my principles, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm me. But, like, it messed me up, bro, because it's like, yo, you get people that come in here and you tell them not to be them. You know what I mean? Like, how could you be anything else but you?
Yeah.
How could you, like, that's fake, and like, people notice that, bro. Like, people pick up on energy. I really do believe that. So, like, there's no need to compromise your energy, bro. Be you, and if that position does not allow you to be you, you gotta go.
Yeah, you're right, man. I don't know. I can't be fake.
Word, and that's the thing, bro.
Yeah.
We like, people are so conditioned to like be like to compromise, bro, to assimilate. Like, this person said this, that, and the third, so I need to do this. Like, no. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take your advice. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll listen to you, and I'm not gonna be dismissive of any type of advice because I think that's naive. But like, I'm gonna do my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be me because I've gotten this far by being me. You know what I mean? Like, of course, there's tools and stuff that we need to learn to get to a next level, but my baseline is me. Like, I'm a happy, jovial person. If you don't like that, if you don't like smiling, then that's not the place for me.
Yeah. And what I've learned just by talking to you over the years in this conversation is like, emotional intelligence is like practice
all the time,
over time. Because I'm pretty sure like you do this, you present to people, but at the same time, you probably get into, I mean, I guess disagreements or arguments with your wife or probably family members. But at the same time, we're a human being, but you're practicing
all
every day.
All the time, bro. Like, and it's funny because like I find myself like definitely still struggling with my temper, bro. Like, but it's only when you close to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like, if you outside of my family, if you're not my wife, you're not my kid, man, listen, go ahead. You doing all, go ahead, go that way. You know what I mean? But like, if you in my family, I have a certain standard of expectation that I expect you to meet. Like, our expectations don't dip, bro. Like, I don't care what society tell you. Like, this is our expectation. You gonna meet that. Or you're going to figure out a reason why you can't meet that. As a family, and this is just me talking as a family. So if you get close to me, there's a certain expectation I expect you to meet. Like, I'm not compromising on that. So don't ask me to compromise on that. So there's going to be days where you don't hit the standard, and then we can talk and process that. Like, we could be like, all right, bro, why you didn't hit that standard? Oh, bro, I got mad at Shorty, or I lost my control. All right, bro, what we going to do to work on that next? Like, all right, here we got to, like, you know what I mean? And then the other thing is, like, I can come across condescending. Like, I'm like, a lot of, especially with my brother, like he get me, but like a lot of times we be telling each other, figure it out, bro. Like I'm not working you through a coaching model. Like figure it out. Like this is my delivery to him, and it would be my delivery to like y'all too, because the crew is my boys. So it's like, no, I'm not taking you through no coaching model. Figure it out. Like look at me in the face and tell me you're gonna figure this out, because you're gonna figure it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's just my expectation. It's for myself too. Like I expect myself to be great, bro. Like I don't come into no situation and expect myself to be like, all right, just meet the standard. Like no, bro. I'm trying to blow through the standard, and if you near me, you gonna blow through the standard too. And I'm gonna show you how to do it.
For sure. Because I know you have this Man Up project.
Oh yeah.
And man. I wish I was closer. Is it in Syracuse, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Syracuse. I wish it was in Syracuse.
Cafe Sankofa, man.
It's been going on for like what, three months so far?
3-4 months.
3-4 months.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's bruh. I salute you, because I don't see a lot of that.
Yeah, bro.
And the Man Up project is, if you want to explain to them like exactly what.
So what it is, bro, is it's a mental health group, bro. Like it's a mental health group where we just come in and we talk about mental health, like barriers that we face
for men. Yeah,
for men specifically for men. Barriers that we face, man. Let's see, some things that have come up recently or in the past, like how do we deal with relationships with a difficult baby mother? You know what I mean? Like something like that. How many people are processing that? You know what I mean? Processing the emotions, emotional intelligence, all these things that we definitely do discuss that, because like I just said, bro, like I was 26 when I figured it out, or 27 when I started to change my thought process. And in society, when you reach that age, there's no sympathy for men that didn't learn it. Yeah. But what if you didn't get taught that junk as a kid, bro? You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like we forgetting about a whole group of society or a whole group of people, men specifically, because they didn't get taught the skills at an early age that they needed to be successful in life. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's my baby, bro. Like that's that's a project I'm very passionate about, because like I said, I didn't figure it out till I was older. Bro, if I hadn't taken the time to figure it out, I would be just as lost as a lot of other people, bro. So it's like, I love the Man Up project, man. I know it's gonna hit big. Like I was telling you earlier, man, I know that's gonna be a big deal, because like how many opportunities do men get to discuss mental health in the community? All right,
express themselves.
Period. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and there's no judgment. Like we don't do cameras. We don't do none of that. Like you come in here, you about to get the raw. Once we leave, this didn't even happen. You know what I mean? Right, like this was. You carry the tools
it's
out.
It's honest feedback, too.
And that's it, bro. Like, it's it. Like, there's no... people use the word criticism. I say feedback, bro. There's no such thing as criticism in my personal opinion, because it's how you take it. Right. You know what I mean? Like, if you take it negative, then you're going to think it's criticism. But if you take this feedback, and even if it's bad, like, even if somebody was like, yo, Tyrone, you was terrible at that speech, bro. Like, that was awful. Like, do better. Like, I could take that negatively and be like, oh, well, F that. Or I could be like, you know what? I was bad. Let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you have to get to that bar.
Control of your emotions.
Yeah, bro. And that's
what I'm saying.
And the way you do that, bro, is you stay in a constant state of reflection, bro. Like every single, and it can drive you crazy, but every single decision you make, every single kind of situation you get in, you have to be reflective and say, okay, what did I do right in the situation? What did I do wrong? How can I improve?
Yeah, we need to have more projects like that, or just like more. Sit down with
man.
Men
like even men, like think of how many men just absolutely afraid to be themselves, bro. Like we got so many roles that we play in society, and so many people telling us we should be this or that. Like it's confusing, bro. Like if you don't have solid principles or stand on solid principles, it's hard, bro.
Yeah, growing up in the Caribbean, man, like parents, like they,
especially in the Caribbean, bro. Oh my God,
like you know, like my emotions is not there, like my mental is not. You're fine, you're good.
Yeah, and that's the thing, bro.
They
like
know shit like crazy.
It stigmatizes, bro. Like for real, like bro. Honest to goodness, I'm so happy that mental health is something that we talking about now, because if you talked about mental health when I was growing up, you was weird, you was like lame, suck it up, don't cry. Like that was what was the reaction, bro. So it's like. This is good, bro. Like, this is a great thing that we're even having these discussions, because for so long, men told to suck it up. Suck it up. Don't cry. Don't do this. Don't show emotion. How? That's human being. Like, to be human is to be emotional. So to tell me not to show emotion is crazy.
Bruh, I salute you.
Appreciate it.
I see the Facebook page and all that, and I really wish I was like I live closer to like.
It's all good, bro.
I'm gonna take a trip one of these.
It's expanding, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. It's not. I hope like a whole bunch of Man Up stuff pop up throughout, not only just like New York State, but everywhere, bro. Because I know damn well there's gentlemen that's struggling in areas outside of Syracuse, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's people that are struggling, so I hope people hop on the wave or create their own wave, whatever the case may be, because it's plenty of need for it, bro.
Yeah.
Plenty of need.
So what's up with you for like the new year coming up? Because you know you're a businessman. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Entrepreneur.
I done got a couple contracts in. I got a couple contracts in place now, man. Bro, man, thank God. First of all, let me say that. Like, I really do want to thank God because he has helped me get from a dark place, but also like, bro, I think it's the dopest thing that I monetize my talents, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I literally get paid to do speeches, to do workshops, to articulate the struggle, bro. Because that's what I look at. And that's what it is. Like, that's all it is for me, is this is articulating people's struggle. People don't know how to say, instead of saying something like, oh man, my self-awareness is off. Like, they saying stuff like, I'm mad as F. But why are you mad? You know what I mean? Like, so again, like, I'm very thankful to God that I've been put in this position where I'm able to monetize my talents. I love, like, waking people up, bro. Like, people use that term woke all the time. I don't even use it no more. But, like, I literally love waking you up, man. Like, because the coolest junk that happens to me, bro, is like, when you got this old belief system, like, women should be submissive, women should do that, and then you get new information, and then you combine that junk, bro. Like, that's literally a aha moment. Like, oh shoot, like, I was thinking some dumb junk before. Like, now I can move smart and think for myself and think independently, bro. And I love seeing people come to that moment. And over the course of the 3 years, I've had definitely over 100 people come to me and be like, yo, thank you for, like, making me see something a different way, bro. And that's love, bro. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like just this whole session right here was just like a free consulting session.
Listen,
workshop.
Only for my brothers, man. Listen, everybody else, you gotta pay me.
But yo, my brother, I appreciate you again.
Love, man. Always
coming
love.
Through, kicking it with
bro.
Skinny, man. Yo, bruh, anytime you need me to come up to Syracuse, or I'm pretty sure at some point I'm wanting you to come down to William Patterson, bro.
I'm with it, man. Listen, anywhere I can help, bro. Like, anywhere there's a need, I'm definitely with it.
But until next time, man, I see you guys kicking it with Skinny, Mr. Feelgood. All right, let's go.